With that, I would like to now hand over the charge to the president of Quantum Leap Toastmasters Club. She is distinguished Toastmaster and won many contests. Means if you visit her home, you'll see so many accolades. So you definitely will get envy from her. So with huge round of applause, distinguished Toastmaster Adam Rizvi, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum. And just to add a bit spice around that, there are 62 awards of Toastmasters and total 112 from rest of the places where I have gone for speeches and keynotes and also thank you. Thank you very much. You're most welcome to have a look when you come to my place because I've shifted half of them to my office now. बच्चों ने तोड़ दिए around 7 of them and earthquake has crashed around 6 of them. So I still have them. So we're holding on to the pieces. It's a pleasure to be at Quantum Leap. Quantum Leap is home, and I feel a bit nostalgic when I'm here, seeing the Nurani faces of everyone, especially in the month of Ramadan. So, welcome everyone. And Quantum Leap is one of the very rare clubs where we get the science and art and even humane along at one place, and we bulge it on in the form of speeches, in the form of our performances, and even sharing up the ideas. Probably one of the only clubs around that talks on this topic and has a keynote every single time. Proud to be a member of this club. And today we are going to focus, and I could see that the attire is also around the topic. We have a very exciting TMOD for today, who always brings in something with the bang and also has been uh, charm of our eyes, not only just for Quantum Leap, but for Pakistan and shining across outside Pakistan too. So just very quick note on because everybody's a member here, but just to touch base on what Toastmasters is, it's more than 100 years organization and operating around 160 companies. In fact, it has slightly reduced down to 143 in the last visit that I saw. Close to 300K to 400K members worldwide and 14,600 clubs. We are operating around the globe. And once you're a member in one club, you're welcome to join anywhere across and do your performances, open up chats, and have your speeches done, or at least take part in table topics. So you will learn every single time, if not by performing, but by listening and observing. So Toastmasters is not just a journey of this place, it's all across the board. And while we are here, Quantum Leap is very specifically an online club. And you're going to see that it has a slight touch of science in it. And today we're going to see that even though Ramadan is all about religion, spiritual, but then again, when we talk about spirit, we are touching science. So, for that, please get your hands together to welcome one of the champions that we have, our inspiration, and who really brings up a bang when he comes on the stage. Get your hands together for Toastmaster Khurram Chisti.
Thank you, Madam President. نحمده ونصلي على رسوله الكريم أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. All the praise for Allah and blessing for His Prophet, and we seek refuge to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from all the bad or evil deeds come from the devil, and we start everything by the name of Allah. First of all, happy Ramzan Kareem to all the members of Toastmasters and who are all around the world and joining this meeting. Hello, Toastmasters. Have you ever thought that how remarkable it is that when the people are gathering together, sometime 30,000, and making a World Guinness record, and sometime 50,000, 80,000, 100,000, and they are remarkably publicizing that they are doing the big world record. And every year across the world, 1.8 billion people voluntarily leave the food, the water, the snack all across the world from sunrise to sunset for 30, 29 consecutive days. And that's so remarkable, yet it has not been considered as any world record at this stage. Although, if you see from the world outside the Muslim community, it seems that we are just leaving the food, the water, and it's just a faith. It is the faith, although. But today we will unleash and look into a very much part of where science come into Ramadan and how the universe, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the nature have thought far beyond our imaginations millions and billions in year ago, and it practiced most almost 1476 years ago it was started for Muslims. But since all the ages of Adam alayhi salam, and since the humanity has been there, it's been practiced. That what Quran told us. How remarkable it is. Today we will unleash that part as we move on. We will look into the fact foundations into three areas of body, gut, community, and the mind. There has been almost tons of 300 more peer review research has been done across the world. And today, the person who are enjoying this meeting today, you will get at the end of this session the whole research I have done as a PDF at the end of the day with all the references that all the work has been done between science and Ramadan. Obviously, because I with this limited time availability, I cannot cover every single part, but I will share that one in the PDF. Let's move on toward the session of the day in parallel. Let me introduce my team around the table today. Today, I have a great language evaluator. He is master of all trade, jack of none other than DTM Talabin Hamid. DTM Talabin Hamid, would you please introduce the word of the day and explain the team what you will do as a language evaluator and a timer as well?
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, my role is that of the language evaluator. It is an enhanced version of Toastmasters' grammarian role. In addition to looking for good usage of English and pointing them out, I will also be possibly looking at grammatical errors and suggest corrections. Along with that, I will also try to take an in-depth look at the tone and the tonality and the idioms and the rhetoric devices used during speeches and sessions and try to point them out. It is also my duty to assign the word of the day, and the word of the day today is discombobulated. Uh, Before specifying its meaning, I will ask our very special guest, Toastmaster Tariq Sumro. When you see that word, what do you feel?
Thank you very much, Talavin Hamid, for inviting me to describe about this very
Just,
surprising
just,
word.
just describe
This,
your feeling.
it is very difficult to pronounce.
And
Discombobulated.
how does it make you feel?
It is making me feel uncomfortable.
Exactly. This is exactly what discombobulated means. It means feelings of uncertainty and discomfort, especially emotional uncertainty. So this is one of the few words that sounds exactly like its meaning. So I invite everyone to be discombobulated today. Over to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you, Mr. Language Evaluator. You discombobulated us a lot with your word of the day. One of the very famous fact which has been shared across the world for Ramadan and the science is that Ramadan by fasting, it's good to have better reduction of the weight, lower cholesterol, better energy and metabolism. And it's very good to lose the weight in Ramadan. And I believe that the researcher of this research was not an Asian. He was not sitting in Pakistan or India or any of our Asian country, because the amount of food and the heavy food what we eat in our sahur and iftar, he might be he might be reversing his research and saying that Ramadan generally we gain weight rather than losing the weight. With this fact, let's move on to keynote speech of the day. The keynote speech today is being delivered by one of our amazing Toastmasters. He is a Toastmaster for he's a Toastmaster, a division director for District 122. He believes in a power of simple, meaningful storytelling to convey life philosophies in a way that people can truly feel and understand that. With 40 years of corporate leadership experience, he remains strong advocate of continuous learning. He holds 3 master degrees in business management and he completed 10 Toastmaster pathways. Yet he continued to see himself as a humble learner, always curious about learning new things and see what ahead is. He is none other than DTM Irfan Farooqi, and the keynote speech title for him today is Creating the Best Club Climate. Is a part of the educational series. Over to you, TTM Irfan Farooqi.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Khurram Chishti, for giving this opportunity. Let me begin with a story. A young man once walked into Toastmaster meeting for the very first time. I was disconnected, sorry. For the very first time, he arrived 10 minutes early. He stood outside the gate. He stood at the entrance point, discombobulated, rehearsing how he would introduce himself, hesitant to enter into a new room. He had prepared only one line in his mind. Hi, I'm here to improve my communication skills. Simple. But to him, it felt like climbing the Mount Everest. He had been mocked in school for mispronouncing words. He avoided presentations at university. In work meetings, he prayed no one would ask for his opinion. But that evening, something inside him had said, try one more time. So he entered the room. Inside the room, members were talking to each other, laughing, discussing something animatedly. No one noticed him. He stood near the entry door. Someone glanced at him, smiled politely, and returned to their conversation. After a minute, someone handed him a form and asked him, please fill this form. The meeting started. The speeches were good. The evaluations were sharp. There was laughter, applause, energy. But no one explained what was happening. No one sat beside him. No one asked what brought him here. Several ways. At the end, someone said, Thank you for coming. He left and never returned. Dear fellows, have you observed a meeting like this? Have you been to some meeting like this where members are busy within themselves? Nobody is giving attention to a guest. What is unfortunate about this? What's so big? That young man had the potential to become one of the strongest leaders for the club. But the climate decided otherwise. It was not agenda. It was not quality of the speeches. It wasn't protocol. It was the climate. And that is what I want to talk about today. Climate is the invincible curriculum. We often think clubs succeed because they follow a structure, they achieve distinguished status, they have strong speakers. Important, yes, but not decisive. People don't stay because meetings are organized. They stay because they feel safe. They stay because they feel seen. They stay because they feel valued. A club's real curriculum is invisible, hidden in valuing the guests and the members. It is how we greet, how we applaud, how we evaluate, how we correct, how we care. Members forget what happened with them in the table topic. What were the questions? But they will never forget how they felt at the lectern, at the stage, in front of the camera. Climate is the emotional memory of that club. Can we turn the club climate around? A turnaround? In my opinion, there are three dimensions of a powerful climate. Let me share these three pillars of extraordinary club. And again, I would say it is in my own opinion. This is my opinion. There's no standard what I'm saying here. I believe number one is the psychological safety of the club. Can members fail without humiliation? Can they experiment without fear? New agenda item. Allowing a change in this is how we do it here. They don't want to do what you do here. Growth requires vulnerability. And vulnerability requires safety. If a member fears embarrassment more than they desire improvement, learning stops. A powerful climate says, you are allowed to grow here. The second pillar is visible care. Care is not intention. Care is your behavior. It is arriving prepared in the meetings, respecting everyone's time, mentoring with patience, checking on absent members, asking, is everything okay? Telling them, we missed you. Recognizing improvement, recognizing contribution, not just achievements. Achievements are rewarded with a certificate or a shield, but improvement, contribution, is it recognized? When someone joins, they should not feel processed in a club. They should feel invested in them in that club. When someone struggles, they should not feel invisible. They should feel supported. Indifference is silent but deadly to culture. Let's not remain indifferent. Third pillar is shared ownership. A club does not thrive because officers work hard. It thrives because members feel responsible. The moment members say, this is their club, decline beginnings. The moment members say, this is our club, excellence begins. Culture is not what leaders announce, culture is what members protect. Culture is what guests observe. The guest's silent decision is important. Let's remember that once again, that young man from the beginning, he did not leave because the meeting was poor. He left because no one made emotional space for him. He was the first timer in the club. And as Gulzar says, कोई पहले दिन जैसे घर किसी के जाता हो, जैसे खुद मुसाफिर को रास्ता बुलाता हो. This was the first time. Guests make their decisions quietly. They ask themselves, do I belong here? Am I comfortable here? Will I be supported here? And you have one meeting to answer that question. One. Climate answers faster than speeches do. Speech has a later impact. Climate has an immediate impact. So, dear friends, here is the uncomfortable truth. Climate reflects behavior. If senior members arrive late, skip preparation, give careless evaluation, ignore guests, that becomes the norm. But if senior members model discipline, celebrate others, mentor without ego, encourage consistently, that becomes the norm. Every meeting is training someone, whether you intend it or not. The culture we are presenting is giving a training to participants. So the question is, what are we training them to become? What are we making them? Not through speeches, but through our behaviors, through our style. Now, let me tell you something. That young man in the story, he visited another club a few weeks later. This time, someone greeted him at the door. Someone sat beside him. Someone explained everything, every segment, what's going on. Someone asked, what is his goal in life? What does he want from Toastmasters? At the end of the meeting, 3 members spoke to him personally. He joined the club. Within 2 years, he became an officer of the club. And very soon, he also became a district leader. And district leader means starting from area to division. He became an area director. Same person, same fearful person, same जैसे पहले दिन किसी के घर जाने वाला person. Same potential, but different climate. Climate did not just influence attendance, it sharpened the leadership. My dear fellows, in every meeting, dreams walk into the room quietly. They shy. a nervous student, a hesitant professional, an ambitious manager, the silent observer. They bring with them something fragile, hope. They bring with them hope in the club. And the climate we create determines whether that hope expands or shrinks. We are not just running meetings, we are designing emotional environments. So, next time, when you enter your club, don't ask, what role am I playing today? Instead, ask, what climate am I creating today? Because the climate we create determines the leader we produce. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Every meeting, dreams walk into the room. A great message given by DTM Irfan Faruqi. My question to the VPE is that for this keynote, we will have the question and answer session as well, right? Yep. So we have 5 minutes for the question and answer session. Actually, we have more as per the agenda. We have some room, but let's keep it to the 5. Room is open for the questions. DTM Talha. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Guru. Sir, first of all, thank you for that refresher about club environment, which I believe is the most important factor. My question is, which one is preferable? A club that has fewer but more engaged members versus a club that has dozens of members but only a fraction of them are engaged?
Yes, definitely engagement is the most important thing. I have been member to different clubs. I attend different meetings. I'm a member of a club in Canada where everybody is so enthusiastic that if a member wants to deliver a speech, he needs at least 1 month advance for the booking. Every meeting, 5 speeches, one keynote speech, one toast of the day, and all slots are booked at least for 1 month. So when I want to deliver my speeches, I had to go month ahead, and by understanding I booked so many slots because this slot for me, this slot for me, because I understood it is difficult, and within 2 weeks' time, those all slots were filled. If there is a value in presenting a speech, if I get a good feedback, if there are senior mentors sitting over there who would, after the meeting, to my personal WhatsApp, will tell me, this is my feeling about your speech, then I would definitely love to go there and deliver a speech there. Then I would definitely go and participate. Engagement is important, but feedback against the engagement is also very important. Overall, an organization, a club culture where I feel happy to deliver something, where I'm happy to receive something. A new members comes here, it may be his first time in this meeting, and here what he is receiving, he is not delivering any speech, he is not evaluating, but he is listening. The level of speech, the level of evaluation, the level of contribution, that is more important. Number of members is also important, because a member where only 4, 5, 7 people, they are always coming or distributing roles within themselves. So that is a 5% group. That is not a club. For club, numbers is very important, but engagement and feedback is far more important. This is my feeling.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, DTM Irfan. Any further questions? If not, I would like to add one question, Dr. Irfan. So during your speech, you said that the achievements shouldn't be valued over the contribution. To some extent, I agree. But on the other hand, as being a devil's advocate in this court, the achievement is not coming by chance as well. Achievements are having a lot of effort, and somebody who's ready to sacrifice their time and effort to get that achievement. So, how we can draw a balance between valuing the achievement and valuing the contribution as well?
No, I'm very sorry. Probably my concept was miscommunicated. I'm not saying that achievement should not be celebrated. What I was saying is that achievement is generally celebrated. Yes. I said through shield, through certificates, they are celebrated. If you deliver a very good speech, it will be celebrated. But a person who had never delivered a speech, it was his first or second speech. And a person like me who is delivering a speech for last so many years, can they be compared with one another? There's a DO IBH club. I nearly attend every meeting of theirs. And there is a table topic session. And generally speaking, always they call me for a table topic. Now, with my experience, with my age, they give me a topic. For me, it is a peanut. And I deliver a very good, very easy, very engaging 2-minute speech with the jokes and everything. People laugh. But when it comes to the voting, I categorically say, please don't vote for me. Please exclude me for this vote from this voting. Vote within yourselves. Vote within young students. This is what I was saying. Effort should be recognized. Achievements are always recognized. So when there is a good, over here is a person who's delivering second speech, and there is a person like Talha bin Hamid delivering his speech. Who will be the winner? We always know when there is Talha bin Hamid in the speakers, he will be the winner. It is very, very difficult. Or Iram Rizvi, when she is delivering a speech, she will be the winner. We will give the certificate to them. But what about the man or a woman who was delivering his second speech against Iram Rizvi or Talha bin Hamid? What is our recognition for him or her? What is our appreciation? So we should appreciate. You did a very well job because you came here prepared, you delivered us. This is what I was saying. Achievements are recognized, but efforts should also be recognized so that everybody feels that his effort is valued.
Thank you, DTM Irfan. Is there any other question around the table? If not, I would again.
I have not a
Yeah,
question.
TM Tariq, please go ahead.
So I have not a question, but there was an observation that DTM Faruqi used the word climate. So I would like to ask from the grammarian also that rather to use the word climate, wasn't it the proper word, the atmosphere of the club or the culture of the club or somewhat like this? Because the climate is used for it is related with the weather, long pattern of weather. So this was my observation just to share.
I think the word master
Thank you.
replied.
So that was convenient. Well, there are actually, technically, you're right, Toastmaster Tariq. But when speaking about uh, weather and climate, there's a very important distinction. Climate is the long term average pattern of weather, including temperature, precipitation, humidity. So, weather is short term, right? So, when you talk about atmosphere, right, that might be of one meeting or one club that you are attending, right? But climate of a club represents weather across several meetings. So that is my interpretation. Uh, I think in this thing, in this context, even when a member joins, It is not important for them just to experience one good meeting, one bit of cooperation. That quality and cooperation should be long term and across several meetings. So that's, I think that's the context I believe in which climate was used. I hope I was correct, DTM Irfan.
And yeah, I believe in literary terms, the climate is used for culture also. Technically speaking, yes, climate is with weather, but in literature, we also use climate for culture. So, literally speaking, we use the word climate.
Okay, thank you very much for explaining the metaphor that has been used in the speech. And yes, those metaphors are very important to correlate and understand the things from the nature to our day-to-day life. And all the replies were very, very to the point. Thank you very much. With a great round of applause to DTM Irfan Faruqi for delivering a very engaging, very to the point and very simple but very effective keynote speech and answering all our questions. Fellow Toastmasters, in 2014, meta-analysis published a journal. The journal name is the Journal of Religion and Health by in that journal, there was a research done by Mr. Kull and their colleagues, and they published that Ramadan fasting significantly reduced the body weight, waist circumference, total cholesterol, and glucose in 30 days. In parallel, there was a research done in 2005 by Aksongar and his colleagues, and it was published in Annals of Nutrition and Metabolism. And this found that by doing the 30 days of fasting, there are three very important enzymes that are reduced. These proteins are reduced in our body. One is a C-reactive protein, one is IL-6, and one is TNF alpha. These three proteins are very critical in our body to limit the internal body inflammations. For instance, most of the people these days are very much familiar with the C-reactive protein, because when the doctor want to see that do you have a bacterial or viral infection, they do your CBC to see the bacterial infection, and they also want to see the C-reactive protein to check if it is not a bacterial one, is it a viral infection or no. It shows that internally your body have how much of inflammation. All those three reactive proteins goes down when you're doing the Ramzan fasting. That part covers our body part of the Ramadan. In the next part, we'll talk about gut, which is considered as the second brain of the body. Now, at this stage, we'll move on to the prepared speeches, and I don't see this prepared speaker
Okay,
joining us
so
today.
Toastmaster Patel, Tehseen has not joined yet, and I don't think that she will. Maybe we should move towards the
Geek of
table
the week.
topic session.
What
Geek
about
of
the
the week or table topic, मेरे ख्याल से. If it's table topic, then table topic. If it's geek of the week, then geek of the week.
Uh, you will let us know according to the agenda, right?
Yeah.
Okay, table,
That's what I'm
table.
saying. That's what I'm saying. VPE, you give me the agenda. I'm following the agenda. Yep. Okay. Agenda with me. So let's do it. Let's do it. We'll go back to DTM Talha bin Hamid for the geek of the week.
Thank you so much. Uh, I believe it was 2 years ago that I actually highlighted this particular novel, and today I'm taking the opportunity to highlight it again because now it is being made into a major Hollywood movie, and I believe that nobody should see that movie. Instead, everybody should read this novel. But if you can bring yourself to read the novel, please see this movie because uh, this is actually one of the best science fiction uh, novels in recent years. if not one of the best ones ever. And I say that as a certified sci-fi geek. So yeah, so and we so this is what the movie and the novel is called, Project Hail Mary. I believe most of us are familiar with The Martian, right? The Martian, the very famous novel that was made into an excellent movie. It is from the same writer. And this time he has outdone himself. I found Martian to be one of the best novels I've ever read. Not science fiction novels, just novels, because it represented hard science fiction. And so does this one. But it explores themes that I have not seen explored elsewhere, exactly like the movie Interstellar or even Inception. This goes out on a completely different tangent. This movie explores an interaction between a human and an alien on a location that is thousands of light years away from Earth. They are they have to work together on a mutually shared scientific mission because something is infecting the Earth's sun. It is also infecting a lot of the other stars. And the aliens or the inhabitants of the planets that are circling those stars are striving in their own way to fix that. Imagine if the sun starts losing energy, what will happen? Temperatures will fall, right? The weather pattern will disturb. We will not have food because the crops will stop growing. If it starts losing even if it loses even a few percent of its light and heat, the whole planet will go into another ice age. And that has happened in the past as well. Even a volcanic eruption that spreads dust and ash into the atmosphere and causes the sun's rays reaching the earth to be reduced in quality and warmth. That has been known to cause droughts and famines and all sorts of calamities. So imagine if the sun starts losing its energy, and that's what happened in this novel. This astronaut, played by Ryan Gosling here, by the way, if you want to see it because you are a fan of Ryan Gosling, by all means see it, but he has completely spoiled his looks through plastic surgery. So be prepared for disappointment. Look for the acting, not the looks. But that said, uh, this lone astronaut, who is, by the way, not a professional astronaut, he is a school professor. Only he has the knowledge and the skill set to actually fix this problem. When he travels out from Earth, it is understood that it will be a one-way mission. He will never return because it will take years and years, and the results of his efforts will be only known after several years. So, when he ventures out and gets closer to the source of the problem in his space, he encounters another spaceship from another planet. But now, this is where things start to get interesting. Because the creature in that spaceship is a life form, but it is made of a rock like texture. It does not have eyes, it does not have vision, it has no concept of light. It perceives the universe only through warmth, only through touch, only through sound. And imagine, there is no sound in space. There is no sound in space. So this particular alien and their entire race, they have no concept of what a star looks like, what a galaxy looks like, what the structure of the cosmos is. They only have perception of warmth and various sounds that they hear and sounds that travel through the atmosphere. So imagine having to communicate with such a creature. How will you teach them your language? How will you understand their language? But this person actually develops a system to do precisely that. And if you read the novel or even if you watch the movie, which is shortly coming soon, suddenly you will start to see that yes, it is possible. So, this science fiction movie does not have supernatural acts, it does not have acts of extraordinary uh, grandness. It does not stretch the foundations of belief. It keeps everything within the framework of the physics and science that we know, and then works its solution from there, exactly like The Martian did. If you recall, The Martian, it reflected today's technology, it reflected today's limitations. And the protagonist had to work himself out of this situation using whatever we have today. And this is exactly what happens in Project Hail Mary. And for that, it also is just like The Martian, unlike any other science fiction movie. Perhaps it is very similar to Interstellar, because outside of some elements that represent science fiction, Interstellar also showed humanity's outreach, its technology, its limit as it stands today, and not very something very fancy or unthinkable from the future. So, the name of the novel is Project Hail Mary. It is an amazing novel as it is. It is not very long, it is a very easy read because the writer Andy Weir specializes in writing in a manner that is easily understandable and easy to get engaged. So everybody, please check out Project Hail Mary. If you can read the novel beforehand, nothing like it. But even if you can't, check out this movie because the initial buzz around this movie promises for it to be one of the best movies of 2026. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Geek of the Week. So, sun is going to die. For sure, we know about that. Quran says about that in Surah Rahman, Kullu man alayha fan, wa yabqa wajhu rabbika dhul jalali wal ikram. Everything will be finished. Just the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will live. So yeah, they might save it in the novel and the movie one way or another, but eventually it will go. Coming back to the gut part. So today, what we discussed so far, we discussed that Ramadan is religious. It is mandatory, not for Muslims but for many nations before us. 1.8 billion people observe fasting across the world at the same time, more or less. We have seen that the body get a lot of benefit out of it. Now we'll talk about the gut. Gut is your stomach, your digestive system. Now, Ramazan reshapes the microbiome. Now, what the microbiome is, guys, understand this for a one moment. Your whole ecosystem of all the microorganism in your body. And can anybody guess how many microorganisms in our body are? Any guess?
Billions and billions.
Billions and millions? Irfan Faruqi, you get
About
unmuted.
Billions.
trillions.
Trillions. Anybody else? So the nearest one is DTM Irfan Faruqi. 100 trillion microorganisms in our microbiome. And microbiome is your bacteria, your viruses, your cellular living organisms under your gut, under your skin, under your whole living body. So the whole that microbiome of your body is consist of 100 trillion microorganisms. It get engaged and improved by Ramadan. This has been proven by a study done by in a metab in 2024 by a person named Sue. Now, if you go into the further depth, our gut have a lot of bacteria, and one of the bacteria is butyrate, which produce lecanophoresis. That's an enzyme that build a barrier toward our internal linings of our stomach and our guts. That has been increased by going into the Ramadan. Then our whole cardiac our whole cardiac distribution system, where the blood flows from one part to another, that rate improves. Not the heart rate increase, but the flow of that rate improves. So the overall gut microbiome and the body health system improves by Ramadan. None other than part, before going to the next session, the whole mind part improves by Ramadan. One of enzyme which is live in our whole neurosystem is BDNF, brain derived neurophoric factors, the whole support system for our neuropathic communication between our body, that improves within our system, and that has been proved within a research by Abdul Khil in a psychological reports of 2011. Now we'll talk more around the Ramazan and the science of it, but now we are going to move toward a super exciting session of any Toastmaster Club meeting. And it makes it not 5 star, I would say 50-star session, because it is being run by none other than DTM Iram Rizvi, who is not only the president of this club, but a well known champion of Pakistan in many different forums, many different areas of speechcraft, in international style of speech, in Urdu, in evaluation, and in the table topic, and you name it. And she is now going to make this session a 50-star session. Over to you, DTM Iram Rizvi.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Khurram, and no pressure at all. Thank you for giving no pressure at all. So, yes, exactly. The table topics is all about getting you practice how to answer on tip of your toes. Whether you are asked to pass by the corridor and you pass by your senior VP and there was something very essential that you wanted to say or respond, how would you do it within few seconds, probably 30 seconds to 1 minute? Probably you were going for an interview, you finished up your interview, you're coming down the elevator and you meet the head of the department. How would you pitch up yourself? Or maybe you want to propose for your second or third marriage. How would you have that script up? Because yeah, we are all seniors up here. So table topics is all about those short moments. And thank you, Toastmaster Sohail, for giving a nice smile around that. So for those small moments that we have where we need to be scripted, where we need to have a bit of an opening, body, and closing for whatever we say, and have it in a way that the purpose is served. So we do this practice by at least speaking for minimum 1 minute and try not going beyond 2 minutes, because then it is a dragged conversation and the listener loses the value of the speaker. The whole idea is it has to be a topic you get on your toes. You have 5 to 10 seconds to think around it and then go up as a pitch with an opening, closing, and body. And you have to stick around to the topic. Now, what I have done is I've done something which is to mix up Ramadan with science and with bit of a fun to take your perspective. You're most welcome that you can either share it in a form of a story or you can do it in a form of philosophy, but you have to be around the topic and give your views. So I'm going to start off by first inviting, let me see, could I invite DTM Irfan Faruqi?
Yeah, yeah, sure. Why not?
Great. So the topic for you is fasting really a fitness program? Is fasting really a fitness program? Your views.
I think you have asked this question because you have physically seen me, and that is why you are talking about fitness. Let me assure you, if Ramzan was a fitness program, I would have been miles away from Ramadan, from the fasting. Fitness is not my coin. No, I'm not that type of person. And those who know me physically, personally, those who have been close to me, I'm a carefree person. Hakuna Matata person. Why to worry when things are not in your control? When I was young, I was not very careful. When I had to give a gule rana to somebody, I was not very careful. I forget what Suhail Gibran Sahib used to say, gule rana or what gul. But at the time when I had to give some flowers, I was not very careful. And at this age, why should I be careful? So, Ramazan for me is not fitness at all. Because in the Ramazan, I lose 2 kg of weight. And within next 1 4, I gain 4 kgs of weight. So that is not my target. That is not what I am achieving. Yes, it is a good exercise to refresh my relationship with my Allah. And it is a good exercise to break the routines of the life, eating all day long. Just now, within the meeting, I went out to my wife and I said, very bad. Staying home and the Ramzan is very difficult because I want to eat something. All day long in office, never feel any desire of eating. But now, twice I went out to let's eat something and then I came back. No, I can't. So the reason is not fitness. For me, the reason is attaching myself with my Allah. Thank you very much. Back to you, table topic master.
Thank you very much, DTM Irfan. And I'm going to pass on. By the way, I missed to share in the beginning, my apologies, that in Quantum Leap, we have a round of evaluation. So the speaker, once he speaks, the next speaker that I call for the next topic has to evaluate the first speaker. So we do not have table topics evaluation in quantum by one person. Everyone is an evaluation of the other person. So the next person that I invite has to first evaluate for 1 minute DTM Irfan's speech, maximum 1 minute. That is, you can also finish it earlier. And then I'm going to share the topic for that speaker. So for this practice, can I please invite Toastmaster Imran Rana? Would you start
Thank,
evaluating TTM Irfan's table topic speech? Maximum
thank
one
you.
minute.
Okay, thank you so much, table topic master. I'm sure I'm audible, right? Okay, my time starts now. So, Irfan sir, the topic was when you heard the topic and you converted into a humor. You started with a humor, and it was quite good. Then, throughout, what I love about your table topic speech was you were pretty much confident, and you took the topic quite comfortably, and it was on in a chronological order. The best thing about your speech was the humor, which outshined throughout the speech. So keep it up and keep inspiring us.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Imran. The topic for you is around that whenever we are hungry, our blood sugar level drops, and that makes us very moody. So, does Ramadan make us hangry, which is hungry and angry, or holy? Does Ramadan make us hangry or holy? Over to you, Toastmaster Imran.
Okay, thank you so much, Toastmaster Adam, for such a wonderful topic. And you know what? The second Ramadan, we did not do any sari. So throughout and previously, we had a great practice of not having the sari, not because we were awoke, but because we awake so late that only 1 minute or 2 minutes left. And sometimes we awoke after Fajr prayer. So I can about myself, I can say that I can safely say that I passed the whole Ramadan, that specific Ramadan, quite comfortably, and it did not impact on my mood because I usually eat not much. Uh, you can say that when there's a food, I eat, and if there's no food, then I don't eat. I try not to eat and pass my time without having the food. So it did not create any impact without it means in the month of Ramadan. So I remain calm and composed. Whereas, yes, people do get angry once their sugar level is down. I remember it was not Ramadan. Um, I went to I went to a shopping mall with my friend, and throughout 1 or 2 hours we did shopping and fill the shopping cart, and at once my friend got very angry. I thought, what happened? He said that my sugar level is dropping and I'm quite hungry, so bring something for me. So there was a chocolate there. I quickly ran and bought the chocolate for him. So I'm quite comfortable and composed in that situation. So it does not impact on overall personality if I have no food in the during Ramadan. Over to you.
Thank you very much. Can I please request Toastmaster Suhail Gibran? Would you please, for
Yes,
1 minute, evaluate the speech of Toastmaster Imran Rana?
yes, why not? Thank you very much for inviting me. And Toastmaster Imran Rana handled the topic very well, and his message was very clear that it doesn't make any effect on him if he does not take food for the whole day or for 12, 15 hours. This was his message. And he spoke well. He explained everything with personal examples, personal story, which gave a personal look to his, I mean, this speech. But I think he should, or we all should give more pauses when we speak, because pause makes our speech more effective and comfortable. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for sharing. Now, the topic for you, Toastmaster Suhail, is what is more difficult in Ramadan? To hold your negative thoughts or to hold fighting from wife? What is more difficult in Ramadan? To hold your negative thoughts or to hold fighting from wife? Over to you.
I am very clear about it that I feel it very difficult to avoid fighting with my wife. To let's be very frank. And otherwise, I can control negative thoughts. But during day when you are fasting, and there are demands at times very funny demands. Suppose I have just come from outside, and then my wife, if she says go and bring piyaz, then I would say I have just come from market. Why didn't you inform me earlier? So these irritating things are which are common. I don't mean that we start fighting, but yes, there is some sort of irritation because of such things. So then my answer to her would always be that why not to plan the things in advance, which is also a message of Ramadan or fasting, that discipline yourself and go as per the planning and plan. Thank you very much. Thank you, Toastmaster
Thank you.
Imran
Thank you
Ram.
very much. Thank you, Toastmaster Suhail. Can I now request Toastmaster Tariq? Are you with us?
Yes, I am with the meeting.
Great. Could you please evaluate for less than a minute Toastmaster Sohail's speech?
Yes, thank you very much, Table Topic Master, for providing me an opportunity to evaluate. Mr. Toastmaster Suhail Gibran actually highlighted the global issue, not a Pakistani culture issue, but I think it's a global issue during the holy month of Ramadan when we are coming from outside from a very hectic or routine, and someone, if these kind of demands come, then it is, I think it's a natural reaction or behavior. So he elaborated in a very humorous way, and because it is a situation we also face every day, especially in Ramadan. So Ramadan also teaches us to hold over patience and other things like negative thoughts. So he projected the things in very good manners. Over to you, table topic master. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now, the topic for you, Toastmaster Tarek, is wait, what was the topic? All right. So, if you have to spend 1 month, just like Ramadan, avoiding scrolling instead of eating and drinking, how would you plan your day? If you have to do the same thing like Ramadan, but it would be avoiding scrolling for a month, how would you plan your day?
Thank you very much, Travel Topic Master. Uh, this is very productive exercise, especially to make our focus and to waste our time, because deliberately or undeliberately, these devices, these electronic gadgets have become the big source of distraction. So we could not even calculate that how much time we are wasting on these kind of uh, unproductive, or there is, I think there are no fruitful results from scrolling just for the purpose of entertainment. So I think I would highly appreciate if such kind of exercise I encounter, I face, so that will surely save my time, screen time, and it will give me an opportunity to focus on my other productive tasks, such like these Toastmaster pathways and other things we can focus. So I would highly appreciate and welcome such kind of exercise that I refrain from these kind of, because sometimes also when we see some kind of reels or other things, we become also discombobulated by seeing these such sometimes unpleasant video clips also make us unpleasant. So I will highly encourage myself and appreciate that if such kind of exercise comes, I will do it surely. Thank you very much. Over to you,
Thank you
table.
for sharing. Thank you. Can I please request Toastmaster Khurram Chisti to evaluate the evaluation speech of Toastmaster Sohail?
Thank you, Table Topic Master. And Toastmaster Tariq, you put the summary of the topic very well. You use the word of the day, and you put your personal experience into that, and you suggest certain upgrades to that one. I would just put some technicalities into your speech that while you are even sitting and delivering speech, try to use some of your hand and face gestures. It put a bit more salt and sugar into your speech, and it become a bit more interesting. Add some humor, that would be better. Overall, it was a great delivery. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Khurram. Now, this is a personal question to you, and it has to come from your life. That any habit that is delivered, it requires minimum of 21 days. What new habit would you adapt in Ramadan, which you haven't done it yet? What new habit would you adapt in Ramadan, which you haven't done it yet?
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day. It was my jeans, which I bought 1 month back. And when I put it on, and I tried a lot, the button was not going down. And I realized that my tummy is coming out a lot. Now, when I go to Ramadan and start doing sahri, and it was delicious. It was a good paratha made out of desi ghee and a lot of keema and dahi, and I enjoyed a lot. And whole my dreams got ruined of getting my tummy out or down. So what I have started the habit is to do a 45-minute walk before having iftar. So with that interim fasting, when you do a little bit of more additional work into that one, and then you eat it, at least if you do not go down, at least you sustain. So with that, it was used to be a habit. I used to be a runner and a OCR racer 8 years back. So this Ramadan, what I am trying to put back is a habit of putting a little bit of effort before iftar, so at least I burn out the things on top of what I'm eating, and with huge honor and shame, I would share that this is so far the first Ramadan in my life where it's 10 or 11 days and I'm continuously going for Tarawees. So it never happened ever in my life. I go 1 or 2 days, then 3 days of holidays, and then I go 1 or 2 days. So it's the 11th day I'm going straight away. I'm amazed by my own self. So it's okay. Let's see how it goes. There are still 19 days to go around that one. But yeah, I mean, there are many habits we can adapt in our life. I don't know who's the intelligent person. He says that 21 days the habit has been adapted. I have never seen this one. I contradict with this belief. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Khurram. Now, can I request DTM Talha bin Hamid to evaluate Toastmaster Khurram's speech?
Okay. Uh, Thank you so much. So, the best thing about your speech, Toastmaster Khurram, was that how full of content it was. I was trying to analyze it. So much happened in these 2.5 minutes. You completely shared your life story, your struggles with your weight, and your struggle with your Taraweeh and everything. And I believe that is something we can all identify with. For the first time in years, I have not been regularly going to Taraweeh, and the reasons I cannot mention here, but uh, hopefully I will take your lead now and resume that. I think the way you started with agreeing with the topic and then ended by completely disagreeing with it after sharing your life experiences, I think that made it into a very interesting story. So, a very good job done. Your thoughts were a little disjointed here and there, but you brought it all together very beautifully in the end. So, thank you so much.
Thank you, DTM Talha. The topic for you is ये भी हो गया, ये भी हो गया, ये भी हो गया. Okay, so not getting enough sleep takes toll on our clarity. Not taking enough sleep takes toll on our clarity, but people say that they feel more spiritual in the month of Ramadan. What is your take on that?
Thank you so much, DT Vera. It has been a chronic disorder with me, and it keeps me discombobulated all the time. And I try to think about fixing it, but in the end, I fall prey to my own preconceptions. And I have something very destructive that is hardwired into my brain, and that is I consider sleep as a waste of time. I know it's not. I know it's vital recharge period. I know your body needs it. But still, the period where you're not doing anything uh, seems to me like a waste of time. And time again, I have decided that I have to improve this because yes, I agree with you, DTM. It affects your clarity, affects your motivation level, it even affects you physiologically. Because one of the main reasons that I can't seem to get into a healthy state after losing some weight, one of the major contributors to that is the habit of not getting enough sleep, getting to sleep at 2 in the night and then waking up at 7 in the morning and on working days, not having any sleep in between. Uh, Lately, over the past few months, we have made a conscious effort to push back our sleeping time considerably. So instead of the usual 2 a.m., now it is a very reasonable, a very deliberate 1 a.m. So, uh, baby steps, baby steps. Don't laugh. I know 1 a.m. is not a reasonable time to sleep, but compared to 2 a.m., it is. So, I look forward to a day where we can go to sleep at around 12:30, and I believe that day is not very far.
Thank
Conversely,
you very
during
much, DTM.
Ramadan,
Oh, sorry. I thought you're done.
conversely, during
Sorry, sorry.
Ramadan, we do get more time to sleep thanks to the shorter office hours. Over to you, table topics.
Thank you. Thank you very much, DTM Talha. Apologies for interrupting in middle. Now, can I please request DTM Irfan Faruqi to close the cycle of table topics and evaluate the speech of DTM Talha?
Yes, definitely, DTM Tala. I fully agree with your point of view. And I was very conscious because I understood that you are the last person now. I will be the evaluator, so I became very focused. What are you going to say? And I was expecting something from you saying that, yes, your sleeps are disturbed. Because then I was preparing to tell you that whenever out of Ramzan, I message you at 2 in the night, you immediately answer me. If I message you 4 in the night, I just get your answer. So you are not a person who sleeps a lot. So I was waiting what you would say. And because of, I think, Ramadan, you are trying to be a truthful person. And so you agreed that you are not a sleepy person. I'm not talking about me, whether I'm a sleepy person or not. But yet, yes, I agree with you. Your presentation style was very good. Your communication style, you were talking, you were not delivering a speech, you were communicating with us. I liked your style. I like the way you presented your thoughts. And I fully agree with you. Ramzan is a better sleeping time than the rest of the months because me myself, I have improved my sleeping hours in the night. And last night I slept at 10 o'clock. I did not know lights were on. I just slept. And then my daughter came and switched off the lights. But this is how it is. So the way you presented your thoughts were coming from your heart, not created sentences. And that is the reality of a good table topic that everybody should feel it is coming from your inner side. It is not a created story. And that is your success. And I have always said that, just recently said that it is difficult to beat you, and that is you have proved again. Back to you, table topic master.
Thank you very much, DTM Irfan Faruqi. And can I please request the timer to share the timing report for all the speakers today who qualify for
Yes,
voting?
yes, all the speakers qualify. I'll take the liberty of floating the poll. Everyone, please vote for two of your favorite speakers because pretty much everyone spoke. So that way we can have a result. So everyone just floating the poll. And over to you, DTM.
We'll take a second for that. And as soon as the poll comes, please vote up. Thank you very much for being part of the discussion. It was something which was on a lighter note, but I'm very glad that everyone had their real stories in it. Whether it was Huram Chisi sharing about the program that he has got into for the fitness, or whether it was DTM Irfan Faruqi sharing that I pulled him on purpose, whereas my aim was to get someone experienced, and it was your luck that was the first topic, or it was Toastmaster Sohail who talked about he couldn't control fighting with his wife, or it was Toastmaster Imran Rana or TTM Talha talking about the disciplines. So, thank you everyone for taking part, and I hope that you take back something with this conversation. That way, we confess a little. We actually remind ourselves that there is some one thing that we need to do one more step in Ramadan that we couldn't do in the previous years. And one little thing it has to be, just one little thing to be added this year to make it a little different Ramadan than the last Ramadans, just either towards being a little more empathetic, little more spiritual, little more patient, or little less hangry. So thank you for taking part and handing the charge over to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Khurram.
Thank you, GTM Illuswi, Table Topic Master of the Day, fellow Toastmasters. We today talk about the science of Ramadan. We see how the Ramadan and their effects are affecting our body, our guts, our vascular systems, our hormones, and now we'll go one thing outside our body, and it's our community. How that effect in a larger scale by Ramazan has been studied in 2019 by Clint Smith and his colleagues, and it's been published in a 2019 economic journal. And it says that the Ramazan increase pro psychological behavior, charitably given things, and community cooperation on a larger scale that is measurable, and they statistically signifies that. Consider yourself in a normal days and then in Ramazan. It's a bounded thing that you sit together as a family to do iftar. It's a bounded thing that you want to rush to Juma prayers, to the Friday prayers. You want to do that one in the normal days, but especially in Ramadan, you want to do it and all Muslims are together. During Taraweehs, during many other events, you want to have a sense of being in a community, being as a social being, being connected with each other, doing a collective prayers, doing an individual prayers as well, but collective prayers are becoming multiplied in these days. So one, and then on top of that, most of the people have a zakat cycle on Ramadan. Now, with all that, you are giving charity. You are doing more things toward the community. So a lot of things happen by the whole systematic things designed around Ramadan by Allah Subhanahu wa Taala. That is not just healing our inner being, but our outer being. And our outer being, which is connected with the wider audience, not our family, but the larger community, that psycho-scientific reasons proves that Ramadan is way more connected with science, not just only the religious practices. With that, I will call upon a Toastmaster who is a Toastmaster for quite a while, I would say, 10 years, give or take. He joined Toastmasters in 2016, served as an XCOM since then. He's a part of a district XCOM position and a passionate Toastmaster. Why he loved Toastmaster is because here we are allowed to make mistake without being judged. And he's our general evaluator of the day, none other than Toastmaster Imran Rana.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. This is the last segment of the meeting, that is the evaluation segment. Uh, Here, the purpose of this session is to highlight the areas of improvement and the strong areas, and also look for where we can improve upon. So the session consists of first I'm going to take the reports from the facilitator, and finally I'll present my overall evaluation about the meeting. So we have the language evaluator. For language evaluator, we have distinguished Toastmaster Talha bin Hamid. So I request Talha to please share your report.
Thank you so much, Journal Evaluator. First, I'll report on the word of the day, discombobulated. The word is unfamiliar and difficult to pronounce as well, but despite that, Toastmaster of the day used it. Toastmaster Tariq used it twice, once during his intro and the second time during table topics, and DT Mirfan Faruqi also used it. I would just say that, if there had been a reminder by the table topics master before signing topics about the word of the day, perhaps the usage would have been even more. Now about the Toastmaster of the day. The Toastmaster of the day's whole discourse on the science of Ramadan, if we take it together, was an undercover keynote because he had a very well coordinated, well spaced, and well paced discourse on how spirituality and health are connected with Ramadan. I especially congratulate him on coming across as well prepared and deliberate rather than off the cuff. And it is something we should all learn and emulate, even if you're doing a role like Toastmaster of the Day or Journal Evaluator, something that does not necessarily require prior scripting. It is always good if prior scripting is done because it does come across. I must also congratulate Toastmaster Kuram on being matter of fact and not melodramatic, but at the same time getting your message across. If there is one pet peeve that I had during your entire turn as Toastmaster of the Day, it is your repeated use of the phrase none other than. It's just my personal pet peeve. It is not illegal, it is not improper, it is not grammatically incorrect. But to introduce someone as none other than, perhaps it's a little trite, a little over familiar. Now we come to the keynote. So many beautiful words and phrases. The whole talk about what a club's climate does to its visitors. The club's real curriculum is invisible. Growth requires vulnerability. How beautiful is that? Visible care. Care is not intention, it is behavior. And that sums up, if I were to have a manual for how a Toastmasters club officer should behave, I would just write this line: care is not intention, it is behavior. You may intend a lot, but unless and until you put your mouth where your put your money where your mouth is, it does not mean anything for a member or a guest. So congratulations on that. Culture is not what leaders announce, it is what members protect. And you brought it out so well that a club's culture is not necessarily there in the bylaws, it is not there in the club leadership handbook. Every club has its own culture, and it is something intangible, something invisible, but very much there. And we see that culture in Quantum Leap as well. Then I would also admire at one point, Toastmaster of the Day asked how many, was it bacteria? You use a specific word, Toastmaster. How many microorganisms are in the human body? And DT Mirfan Faruqi, the guest, his guest was closest to the total. But the way it was said by Toastmaster, 100 trillion, that was a lesson in expression, because 100 trillion is a figure that is beyond human perception. It is way beyond our expectations. So it was expressed as such as well. Now we come to the table topics master. Today, of course, the table topics master assigned the topics. During the assignment of the topic, a couple of uncharacteristic errors were observed. She said, fighting from my wife should have been fighting with my wife, which was then corrected by the table topic speaker. And adapt a new habit could have been adopt a new habit. Then during table topics, Khan Faruqi Saab, he said, you have seen me, Hakuna Matata, and then a classic rhetoric device. I lose 2 kg of weight every Ramadan, and then a slight pause, and then I gain 4. Again, if you had seen the old Toastmasters manuals, there was a whole project on rhetoric devices, and this distraction is one of them. Toastmaster Rana used the word awoke very well, and I've learned to use awoke rather than woke up every time I need to express waking up in the past tense. But he started, you know what. Now, you know what is meaningless in this context because most of the people present here are not doing PhD on Toastmaster Imran Rana's life and his history. So nothing is surprising or not surprising one way or the other. So do not assume that something would be surprising to the audience. Instead, you could have said, you would be surprised to know, or somewhat surprisingly, when you started your speech. Your speech today was stilted. It had a lot of breaks, a lot of pauses, but today it was because you were having too many ideas and you could not decide which to deliver first. So, and then you said usually eat not much could have been I do not eat much. But today your speech had the frantic quality that a table topics speech requires. One would rather have too many ideas jostling for space in a table topic speech rather than trying to pad out too few ideas over the duration. The Toastmaster Suhail, your speech was very deliberate, again, akin to how Toastmaster Khurram spoke or how BK Irfan spoke during his keynote. Very measured pace, every word was distinguishable. That is one of your key strengths, Toastmaster Suhail. I've always observed that. You use funny demands and your flow was very good from start to finish. Toastmaster Tariq, one thing I noticed was, having been put on the spot for evaluation, you had a very fluid evaluation. You did not pause to think, you did not change tack. It was very smooth. Congratulations on that. You used and other things. This is something we tend to use when we can't think of what those things are. But you could use etc. and so on and so forth rather than and other things. Uh, You use such like these could have been such as, but interspersed in your speech were some very good usages. For example, very big distraction. I welcome this. I appreciate it. Those are good bits of language, and I detect a very high level of courtesy and appreciation in your language. This is one of your strengths. Whoever has been teaching you, or whether you learned it in English or at some later stage in school or later stage, it is good to have this positivity in your vocabulary. So all these things, I appreciate it very much. I welcome this with open arms. This is something we should all emulate. Tosma Thakuram, in your evaluation, you said salt and sugar to your speech. Perhaps it could have been uh, add spice to your speech rather than, although I don't mind salt and sugar because it also paints a very vivid picture. With honor and shame, I would share. Again, another salt and sugar instance where there was both honor and shame. But let me tell you one thing, Toastmaster Forum, there is no shame in honesty. There's only honor in trying again and again, which we all do in Toastmasters and outside of Toastmasters. And one thing I absolutely loved because it captured our inner feelings perfectly when we do even a minor good thing. We are walking on air and we are all amazed by our own selves. So I love that phrase, amazed by my own self. It was a good bit of humor, but also described the feeling perfectly. So with that, the language evaluation report comes to an end. And over to you, Toastmaster Imran.
Thank you so much, DTM Talha. It was more like a keynote speech, not the report. So okay, now it's time for me to I think there's no need to evaluate the overall meeting because Talha has covered everything. All we need members to participate in the meeting. We did not have the prepared speeches. Initially, we have the prepared speaker, unfortunately, but the prepared speaker was not able to join. Uh, We had a wonderful meeting, a very unique keynote speech by DTM Irfan Faruqi, although our keynote topic is more tilted towards science and technology, something more like that. But it was different, and hats off to Toastmaster Aaron Brisby for such a wonderful table topic session. And I must say, the participants actively participate in the table topic session and conducted and tackle and spoke very well. Uh, Kudos to Toastmaster Khurram Chishti for uh, such a one for the way he conducted the whole session. It was quite good. I must say that since we had uh, not low participants, and he managed the time quite well, means he did not let any empty spaces during the session. So hats off to you, Toastmaster Khurram. With that, I would like to hand over the charge back to Toastmaster Khurram Said Chishti.
Thank you, General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters. What we have learned today, we have gone through the science of Ramadan, the body, the mind, the gut, the society. Now, what the Ramzan really is it a metabolic reset? It is a anti-inflammatory protocol? Is it a gut microbiome intervention or a mental health practice? Or it is a social cohesion engine? I believe it's everything. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, fast and you will be healthy. It has been said more than 1400 years ago. Just today, with science, statistics, peer reviews, we are just reassuring that. The science of Ramadan is not a new discovery. It's an ancient wisdom designed by the universe itself. We are just following it. Now confirmed, peer reviewed, and published, but it's there since the being are there. Be with Ramadan, enjoy the time, and enjoy the benefits. Over charge back to Mr. President, DTM Peer Brisbane.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Khurram Chissi, and everyone whose cameras are on. Please give a round of applause to him. Very well done. Very well done. It's always a pleasure to hear him when he comes on the stage in any format. And today was more of education, more of a spiritual journey, more of bringing in with some facts and figures. And thank you for being part of our beautiful weekend that we could have spent in a kind of, I would actually call it a kind of ibadah to have any learning done in any form, and you were the preacher for that. So thank you very much, Toastmaster Khurram Chisti, and thank you everyone who has been a part of it. One thing that I would like to collaborate from the whole meeting today, joining in the different points that we had in keynote, in the opening, the TMOD, the table topics, is that there is a science behind building habits, and that does starts. So Khurram Chisti was very right that he doesn't believe in 21. It starts from 21 days till 60 days. So some people with a very good iman and dedication can do it earlier, but a normal human being who really fights to build up a habit, it takes up to 60 days to form something. Imagine doing something every single day for 60 days, and then it becomes a part of you. And Toastmasters is very similar. It is very similar to the gym, that you cannot show up once in a while and then expect that it would work on you, or you would start having biceps, or you will start getting fit. It has to happen with the discipline. You either fix it for 4 days a week or 5 days a week or 3 days a week, but do it constantly for a long time to see it having an effect on you. Practices, speeches, confidence, leadership, communication, everything is similar. A question that is asked was recently asked in Nayatel, because I've joined there, that how did Toastmasters change me? And to be very honest, I was a better speaker before joining Toastmasters because I did have exposure of Fortune 500 companies such as Microsoft and Cisco, my own startup. I studied from London Metropolitan, and there was a lot of edge. You have to be a speaker when you're in that kind of university. You have to take part in things where you really need to come on stage. One thing that Toastmasters has done to me is that to build up an opening, to have an objective in mind when you're speaking, and when you're done, to stop. Usually, most of us would keep on speaking because we are very scared of the pauses and the silence. Toastmasters has taught me to be friends with pauses, to be friends with silence, and to bring impact through that. And that has, and it looks like something very small. As I said, something very small that you do every single day in every single meeting. And that small thing has brought me, alhamdulillah, to a place where I am a speaker that few people sit down and listen to on different forums. And that has Toastmasters done. That is something that Toastmasters has done, to avoid filler words and to not to be scared of pauses. So I want all of you to take one small thing back, and that one small pebble has a mountain effect when it is converted into years. And alhamdulillah, now my journey has come very close to 8 years in Toastmasters, and it looks like a blink of an eye. So thank you very much. And I'm now going to hand over the charge for, and I don't want to do it. I want the vote counter to do it. So this I saw in one of the meetings, and I really like that the vote counter needs to come, and that happens in Airtel, that he should come on the stage and share the winners. So can I please request DTM Talha to share the winners for today?
Thank you so much calling me DTM Miram, because otherwise I would have been completely without stage time in this meeting, and I would have felt betrayed and detected and disappointed if you had not given me the opportunity. So, so
I miss the dramas of Quantum
yeah.
Leap. Thank you.
Okay. So today, best table topics was a very tough battle, and everyone received some votes, but ultimately it was I who happened to be the victor. So thank you so much, everyone, by a very narrow margin, I must say. And our best big four of the day goes to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster. Congratulations. We did not have a best speaker or best evaluator, so these are all the awards. So over to you, DTM.
Can you hear me now? All
Yes,
right.
yes, yes.
So now you know why I called you to share the results. I wanted to see the face when the vote counter himself is the winner and he has to announce it. So that was epic. Thank you very much. And congratulations to everybody for participating, for learning. It's just a very slight margin, and we all know that we all are winners because we showed up today. So Alhamdulillah for that. If there is any parting note, would anybody like to share their views on today's meeting and the learning? Can I request
Yes,
Master Sohail to share your
yes.
views?
Sir, you're
Sir,
muted,
please
sir.
unmute yourself.
Unmute yourself.
Yes. Today, what I have learned is power of pause. And because the speech of DTM Irfan Faruqi has taught me that pause has a great power. This is my message today. Thank you,
Thank you very much.
Madam.
Thank you. Can I request Toastmaster Tariq to share anything about today's meeting?
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Adam Rizvi. Today, I'm really impressed by your flow, by your sequence, and the table topics you already executed today. So, I think it was my first interaction in this meeting with you. So, that was very I'm very impressed. So thank you very much. So today's takeaway from this meeting is that I'm connected with such experienced and thoughtful, resourceful persons. So I'm hopeful that I will embark in this journey very well and will enhance my knowledge and skills. So thank you very much, all of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your views. Anyone else would like to share? Any comments? And we have someone here, I think dropped off. It was Kumar. Okay, TM Kumar.
He has just
I'm not
joined.
sure
Yes.
if you were part of the whole
Hey, am I
meeting.
audible? Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Yes, you
Yes.
are.
Okay. Regret to inform you, I just came in for 3 minutes ago, and I don't think it's fair to give any comments, not knowing exactly what happened.
Exactly. So you just hear our views and try to get an idea what might have happened. So thank you
No,
very
no.
much for joining in,
I just came
and
in
uh,
by
and we
chance.
will
I came in.
probably look forward for you to join on a slightly better time next time, and
Yes.
could hear
What time
you
you
even
know?
share your views.
What time you have? Nobody.
So
No.
it's
Uh,
DTM Talha. Would you like to share?
yeah, it is 2 p.m. Our time, sir. So it would be 5. You are in Singapore, right?
Yes.
So that would be 5 p.m. your time.
Where? When?
In 2 weeks' time, we meet every other week. So
Okay.
our next meeting will be, inshallah, on the 14th of,
Okay.
yeah.
If I'm keep me posted. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
very
much.
much. Thank you. And it was such a pleasure. I would like to give you guys your 10 minutes. And congratulations to the winners. And we're inshallah going to see you after the alternate Saturday.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. If no comments, so
Thank
the
you.
meeting is adjourned. If you want to talk among yourselves, there you go.
Okay. Thank you so much, DT Miram. It was so great to
Thank
have
you.
both you and Toastmaster Puram back after quite a bit. And it was great to have you, Toastmaster Tariq, especially the question you raised about the usage of the word climate versus atmosphere. It was very educative for all of us. So even I had to actually go out and search the net for precise meaning of the climate. Thanks to that. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Puram. I hope you're doing well.
Surviving, sir.
Inshallah. Thank you so much, Abhi. Thank you so much.
Thank
See
you.
you, inshallah. Okay.
Inshallah.
Bye.